Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Being true was the theme of our last full moon, and I hope you had such a pleasant and wonderful, but also revealing time as myself. Being true to yourself means to look at yourself on the level of the patterns of your consciousness, your habits, your lifestyle, your choices. It also means to look at yourself on the level of your understanding and to be open about that maybe we don't understand or know some things, don't know some things. This understanding is very critical to have if we want to keep growing. Because if we start from a point of I know, where will we go from here on? If we start from a point of I don't know or I'm not sure, we can have a lot of space in front of us or ahead of us that we can grow and develop into. I understand that it always feels a little bit uncomfortable having to say, I don't know, or I'm not sure. This is one pattern in itself that we basically portray or give in to not knowing better. It is not very safe. It's not a very safe sensation, or it is not a sensation that makes you feel very safe. Because the unknown is never a really deep, comfortable feeling or state of being. So being true to oneself is a very, very important feature of life cultivation, and also a very effective way of cultivating life, or a very effective way in which to be as a state of consciousness. Because from here on, from the understanding of being true and facing yourself, will bring you the opportunity and the possibility to make progress, to make the space so we can progress into it. So actually, it is the opposite to scary. Being true is way different than scary or unsure, I think you say in English, or a place where we have to feel little value within ourselves. Being true is the very beginning of getting out of dependency in life, getting out of shackles that hold us within limitations. Being true is the very end of limitations. It is the beginning for freedom, for wisdom, for happiness, and a truly strong sense of well-being that we can enjoy at every moment. So, with this theme, we will look at a few things today. I am a little behind in all the questions I receive. I am doing my best to answer all the questions, but as you might have by now found out, that I do need a little bit of time to answer a question. And for now, we had a lot of Ren Yuan and Xia Yuan learning to do. So I will try and do my best today to answer at least two questions I received. Juliet, I have not forgotten about your question about going deeper into Shen Yi, and Shen Et, and I will get to that eventually. Today, I first want to speak about one question that was posted to me in German, so I won't read it to all of you, but I will just tell you the gist of it, because I think that it concerns all of us, every single one of us, if I'm not completely mistaken. It's quite a practical way, actually, quite a practical question. But I have thought a lot about this over the past years myself, and I had to work on a lot of patterns. And as I worked on these lot of patterns, I actually found more and more patterns that were involved in my actual issue. And as you know, how do we do the pattern work itself? First, we need to identify the pattern. Then we need to gain more understanding of the pattern. Then we need to face the pattern, being true to oneself. And then the very important step of replacing the pattern starts happening through different information, through different understanding, through different habits, different behaviors. And as you go through this process, you probably find more and more patterns being involved. Now, what am I referring to today? What was the question about? Let's see if you also feel this way or have come across this problem. We have learned Xia Yuan last week for those who have not learned it yet. 1.5 months before, we have learned Ren Yuan. We also, at some stage, all of us have learned Jin Yuan and Di Yuan and the supplementary exercises like rubbing qi, rowing qi, Yongdong Fa, pulling qi, and the squat. Now, if you listen to Yanzi, you would get the impression that the best is to work on Qi, like half an hour squats each day, and an hour Tien Yuan, and then an hour Di Yuan, and 2 hours Ren Yuan, and almost an hour Xia Yuan. And like this, there would be, we have not even started to practice any of the supplementary exercises. Well, okay, the squats are included in this example. Soon we will have Zhong Yuan and Shang Yuan, the 5th and the 6th method. So for the 5th and the 6th method, the best would be if we could sit in a full lotus, meaning doubly what I sit. I sit in the half lotus right now, having one leg up, and the second leg should be up with full lotus. That would be the optimal situation. As I'm speaking and just, listing up all the methods, are you starting to feel a little bit apprehensive? Are you starting to feel a little bit stressed? Or are you starting to feel a little bit nervous? Or are you starting even to feel a little bit guilty? Or like a feeling of putting yourself down, that you haven't practiced all that much as you wanted to practice? Go ahead, look inside. Be true to yourself. Do you feel pressure? Because in your head it looks all so great when we visualize ourselves practicing every day, regularly, continuously, with determination and diligence. How does the reality look like for most of us? Well, I can tell you from my own experience, it took me about 4 years, 4.5, 5 years, something around this. In the 4th year, it started change time, for a while like this and for a while differently. It took me quite a while to get practicing daily, first of all. Forget about, I don't know how many methods each day. So let's look at this issue a little bit, so we can all follow the laws of human health, which is to keep a relaxed, calm, and natural state, a state in which everything can continue to heal, get better, qi can gather, flow better, information that is sick can be transformed, and our consciousness can be uplifted. This state is the only reason why we practice anything. To keep up the state that I've been talking about, the healthy state of consciousness, is the only reason why we do work on our patterns of the consciousness, and why we work on the patterns of our behavior, and why we work on our qi with the Yuan Gong methods. If the state of consciousness stays on a healthy consciousness or in a healthy state, the qi will accumulate and gather in the right amounts, what we need them, In this state, we will not use or waste or deplete qi necessarily. In this state, we also will not damage or distort qi flow or qi quality. Yuan Gong or any type of Qigong or energy work or exercise is supposed to support and stabilize your healthy state of consciousness. Actually, I rather say our healthy state of consciousness here, because I'm just a part of this whole thing. So, in reality, how does our day-to-day life look like? Most of us do want to spend time practicing, and most of us do want to work with Qi, because we do understand to a degree how important this is. I have said to a degree, or the understanding we have is to a specific degree, because this will vary between each of us. It will vary between a complete beginner or a sick person or a very healthy person or a person who has been within Ren Shui for a few years. Someone who is sick often has it easier to incorporate practice into the day, because the awareness about the importance of practice is more present through the sickness. So here is some positive aspect we can find within sickness, within disease. It makes us and keeps us aware that not everything is just perfect yet, and that we need to make time for practice in our day to work on Qi. It means that our state of consciousness is not yet very or totally stable or always happy and always in the healthy state. The same it is with when we have problems in life. We might not be sick, but we might have a lot of problems, or one seemingly very big problem, which is usually seldom the case that we have only one problem, but when we have what feels to be a very big problem currently, it seems to be all that our consciousness is dealing with, concerned with, busy with. So in this way, problems are actually also a blessing in disguise, because we then can see we still can change something. We can change from one situation or one place to a different place. And this by itself is a very positive understanding, because it means that if we can change something and make it into the better situation or bring it to the better state, then it means we have some influence, we have some control, we have some power, we have some potential, we have not yet completely used or applied. And with this hope and a more positive understanding and a more positive state of consciousness, we'll be able to establish, in which more determination will come and will be able to happen. So the question is, or it was more a description of a problem, and it was about that the feeling of being overwhelmed by too many things that we have to practice. So now look inside again. Do you recognize this problem? You know, do you feel sometimes like when you wake up in the morning, and let's make it a bit practical. Let's assume you have practiced all 4 methods and a little bit of supplementary exercises yesterday. Then you have gone to sleep and you wake up in the morning and it's like gone. The whole list of tasks you seemingly have to do is in front of you again. It's like yesterday has never happened. And does it happen to you sometimes that you then decide right there on the spot, oh, you know what, today I will not practice anything because it's just too much and I need a day off, so to speak. I know for a fact this is what's going on in me sometimes. This list of practices is just standing in front of me, sometimes like a wall. Does this happen to you? So what can we do about it? Remember, the most important thing is to keep up a healthy state, an uplifted state, a happy state. And if we feel a lot of coercion or a lot of pressure that we have to do things, what usually happens with the next step? Resistance, or the feeling of nervousness, anxiety, or pressure, yali. So what can we do? Ask yourself, is it a possibility to not practice any of the methods, to simply not learn one of the methods, to ignore one of the methods? Or is it a good idea to say, well, right now I just cannot get my head in the game. I'm overwhelmed, and so you're giving in to this feeling of not, it just feels like it's all too much, and so we give in to the sensation of, okay, well, it's too much, I'll just have to let it be. I have to let it be there for a day, or the day turns into a week and the week turns into 2 weeks, and all of a sudden you haven't practiced for a month something. Is it an option to not work on one of the levels of qi? Qin Yuan, membrane qi. Di Yuan transforms all the new incoming qi, connects the membrane qi to Ren Yuan, the channel Qi, to Xia Yuan, the pure organ Qi, and Di Yuan makes all those Qis even better connected and makes sure that there is enough Dantian Qi in either of the Dantians to nourish the corresponding either Qi mechanisms or on the physical level, the corresponding systems, body parts, organs, or of course, Shen, your brain and your entire consciousness, spirit, mind, all of it. So when we take time like we do right now to hold it all in front of our eyes, so to speak, to face this problem, to look at it, it already becomes very clear that not practicing or ignoring or coming from the place of pressure, from the place that is not a healthy state, not comfortable place, a place of loss or lack. That's maybe the best, when you're sensing or when you are in a state of consciousness where you lack something, and that is the time to practice, or you just don't have determination to practice, the diligence to practice, or the motivation, the keen feeling for practicing. So whenever you come from places like that, you can know actually for sure that you're not coming from a very clear place. And this is helpful already because it means that we have the understanding that we're lacking something. And what do we humans usually do when we come in touch with those sensations, those feelings? Well, either we face them, but more often we run away from it. And running away, actually, it looks in the external like we're going to find a lot of explanations for why we will not practice or cannot practice. We're all in there together. So if any one of you thinks I'm only speaking to you, that is probably not the case. It concerns us all. So what are we doing? First of all, we use our understanding about the methods. We use our understanding how they are created and conceived to be working within together. So first of all, let's start with the easiest one because that's Di Yuan. Because Di Yuan, the standing form, is connecting all of the different types of Qi within the body. We need Dantian Qi for it to open the membranes. We need Dantian Qi to be able to be in an open state of consciousness in Shen. So we need a lot of Shen Qi to be able to work and be in the state of openness that we need for Tin Yuan. And we need a lot of Dantian Qi, for example, in the lower Dantian, so we can push the Qi through all of the places, the last corners of the body, with Ren Yuan, for example. We need a lot abundant Dantian Qi in the middle Dantian, So actually pure organ chi can be produced more and stored in an adequate amount. Enough amount. So it should be very fairly simple that we should spend every day some time on the Yuan. And the rest has explained itself actually. We should spend time doing Tian Yuan because Tian Yuan puts you in a state of openness. It puts you in a state of awareness about being part of the universe, and the universe is a reality, meaning you will be much more able to be present with the awareness about the laws of the universe, and that there are laws that we have to follow if we do want to be healthy and happy. This is our free choice. Is this, by the way, another pattern that comes up sometimes when you feel that you have to practice and you feel you do not have the free choice to be free all day? You know, when you look at other people who don't practice, they have it so easy, it seems sometimes, because they don't need to practice. They don't have this pressure or this this list that they need to tick off every day. Don't they have a freer life somehow? Do you not feel free when you can make things or do things that will bring you the freedom of pain, the freedom and being free of sickness and disease, being free of negative emotions, being free of problems with other people, with situations, with companies, with whatever you have problems with? Do you not feel free to choose practice and health over eventual sickness or disease? Or do you maybe feel like you're losing a lot of time, which is another pattern, the pattern of the feeling of loss? The natural age of a human being, says Janse, is 125 to 175 years. This is the natural age of a human being. If we look from the normal state of chi and consciousness of a human life. So if you would not be sick with 80 or 90 or not be able to, make your own food, take care of yourself with 80 or 90 or 100, wouldn't you want to live on another 20, 30, 40 years? So isn't this being free in having the free choice to follow the laws of human health will bring you the freedom of, well, almost twice the years in living, in which you can live a rich and healthy and happy life? Can you see how a lot of this has to do with your own values and standards and with your understanding about the purpose of a human life? So this is an expanded view that it always pays off to take on first when we think about a problem or when we feel uncomfortable with something. Just expand the situation, look at it from a totality point of view. Look at it at the total reality. And this will bring you into the smaller ways, because knowing all this doesn't solve the problem of a busy day. Maybe you're a mother who has to take care of children. There is, times that needs to be fed, and there's times that needs to have, food needs to be prepared. It needs to be shopped for. It needs to be cleaned again after. Kids need playing with. Kids need looking after. They need cuddling. They need love. They need teaching. Time to explain things. Or are you someone who has to work? The bills have to be paid, and also your sense of fulfillment comes from your work. Or the house needs to be cleaned, the garden needs to be taken care of. When shall I find some time for practicing? So here we come back again to that understanding of how the methods are created. First of all, you can make a decision to make for a month first method and D1. Then you can decide the next month, the second month, I will practice Ren Yuan and D Yuan every day. And the third month, you will practice Xia Yuan and Di Yuan every day. And what happens then is that for a while you work on the membrane qi and the transformation. Then you work for a while on the channel qi and the transformation, Di Yuan. And then you work for a while on the pure organ qi and transformation. And like this, you step by step come above. One qi supporting the other one, and the next qi supporting the other one, and you can build further up on your foundation of healthy qi. And then you build with the next method again, you strengthen the foundation. Yeah? And then, of course, once a year, you go to a retreat. You somehow make the time. And you have like a petrol station, and you rejuvenate, and you catapult yourself onto the next level of qi. And from there, you make further progress again. You can also try a different approach. You can work with the methods with inflexibility. Do not turn on the CD, the same CD every day. And your head is then spinning about 35 minutes I need for Tian Yuan, and 59 minutes I need for Ren Yuan. And sometimes this is just too many minutes for you that you don't have. This is the reality of a normal, modern human being. We have things that need to be done. But please, please, for your own sake, never forget the things that need to be done and the reality of your qi needs to be taken care of. For your qi's sake, and also for the sake of a stable shen. to be able to do the work on the patterns of the consciousness. So you can, for example, say, you know what? Today I'm going to do a very quick round of Xia Yuan. I just feel like I need to connect with the universe, open big and close deep inside, and open and close deep inside. Like we did it last week, you know. The focus was on Xia Yuan, but we just wanted to make a connection to the universe, so then that the Shen is in a very good state, in a very unified state, and a state of awareness about the whole totality of the universe. And so Xia Yuan goes deeper. And whoop, in 10 minutes you have practiced Xia Yuan. And if you have, for example, a lot of physical work to do, you know, that can mean that qi starts to block in your body, in the back, or in your legs, or in your upper arms, because of the physical work you have to do. So Renyuan would be very, very good, but you only have 20 minutes. No problem. You just don't do one like this, that's slow, and slow, you know, and slower. You just do one, and you move the qi. And you do only one each side instead of 3, 4, or 5 repetitions. You do one side cloud hands, and from there you go over into the turning of the head, and you turn only once your head in one direction, and then you turn it into a different direction. And then you do the turning of the body. Once, twice, and back to center. And you go down, you fluid through turning the chest and the hips once. And you move the qi once to the right side. You stand up and you move the qi into your fingertips just once. And you open again. Or only close, and you push the qi down and you push it up and you push it once around and you push the qi around with your mind completely in focus. So you do one opening the bow and pulling the bowstring, and one to the other. Do I need to go on? Huh? You can do the swirling dragon just once and moving the qi really strongly inside of you. You might actually find out that doing those short, fast practices sometimes increases the focus so much of your Shen that you actually feel more qi, and you feel more exactly what the qi is actually doing. So you give your practice a big service, you give your life a big service, because you realize qi more than when you do every day the same 1.5 hour program, and your consciousness is just lulling about in its habit of yeah. You could also do it like this. I do Xia Yuan today, I do Ren Yuan tomorrow, I do Xia Yuan the day after, and on the 4th day I do Xia Yuan again. So you practice in a space of 3 days. You practice everything, because Di Yuan you find, you know, just turn off your movie or something. I can say that now because I finally managed to do that. Standing at night and doing 10 minutes of Di Yuan, you know, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. Is better than no minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute is better than nothing. I mean, that's real little, but at least you practice and you train your consciousness to go into Dantian and to Dantian breathe. Because what happens then, maybe next time you take a beautiful walk somewhere in nature, you just naturally start Dantian breathing. And half an hour later, you would have nourished Qi in your Dantian while you've been in beautiful nature and walk. Or you might stand in the line of the supermarket and you might just start opening and closing Qi. You pull Qi from the universe above, Qi from the universe below, and you bring it into your mouth, and you bring a lot of Qi integrated into your mouth area, and you have taken care of your gums today, or your hormones via the saliva. When you practice a little bit every day, your consciousness learns to work with Qi all day long even. You might have to go to a business dinner. So you can take off your shoes under the table and yongdong with your toes and pull Qi up into Dantian, into upper Dantian. While you listen, you will listen better. When you play with your child on the floor, you can also sit and yongdong with your hands or with your feet, and a part of your consciousness constantly draws Qi in and up and to a specific place. You will get this awareness of Qi from practicing something every day. Okay? Once you came to the practice of Xia Yuan without CD, it really is not difficult, it's not a lot. You just need to learn mouth Qigong and go up and down, and the fingers and the sounds and the few movements, and you can do less sounds, for example. If you don't have the time to do 6 sounds for each organ, just do 2 sounds or do only 4 sounds. It will give you another 10 minutes. Don't hear me wrong. It's best to do the practice as long as possible. But if your patterns of time pressure, resistance, a feeling of lack, a feeling of being tired even, all those are patterns. And if those patterns keep you away from practicing, it is best to use the methods with flexibility and come back to a calm and relaxed state and do a little bit, but diligently a little bit. And literally, that's when you will start feeling proud of yourself, when you will start feeling happy about yourself. You will feel more responsibility, or that's the wrong word. You will feel a sense of responsibility that you are taking care of you. You will feel the stronger sense that you are taking care of yourself, a stronger sense of loving yourself, and a stronger sense of respecting yourself. This keeps building, and it builds up in a stronger sense of self-efficiency, self-autonomy, self-esteem. And this will give you more sense of purpose. It will keep you above, if this is the level where usually you fall into a bad state of consciousness, unhappy, unfulfilled, nervous, anxious, no self-value. You can't value yourself, you can't find anything good in yourself. If this little bit of practice keeps you above here, your consciousness can then get better and get better and get better. And you have to look at it over a big expanded view of years. For example, you can do Xia Yuan only 3 times each section. And then you move on to the next one, 3 times only. And then you move on to the next section. And this kind of Xia Yuan takes you 5 to 6 to 7 minutes, and sometimes you get so much qi out of it. Yeah? So remember, the most important thing is not to lose a healthy state. And really not over not practicing either. We want to keep the healthy state. And if you manage only to pull qi for 5 minutes, at least you have pulled qi for 5 minutes. Never let your consciousness out of trying to organize more time for D1 every day. Just at least keep it in your head as a plan, or in your heart as a plan, that in 10 years you will have more time. And as long as you keep at it, and you keep adding to this want, this wish to further cultivate your life, you will feel stronger qi. And once you feel the qi even stronger, you actually will miss it. And you will give up gladly something else. You know, it's not going to be a giving up. It's just going to be motivation, and you're going to be, oh, I'm so keen, I want to feel qi, I want to feel so beautiful, and then you will do it. And little by little, you know, you will have more and more time for what you're doing. You know, your kids will grow up, and once they're teenagers, they don't want to have anything to do with you anyway anymore. Hopefully not, but you know what I mean, right? Okay, sense of humor. Okay? So I hope this is today, this helps today. Our talk today helps you with practice. Or maybe it helps you with, you know, getting creative, how to incorporate practice into your day. So you don't come to the sense of being overwhelmed by what to practice. Yeah? One more aspect I'm coming to now. If you're sitting cross-legged, you might want to open your legs so you can then stand up for a little bit of Xia Yuan. If you are thinking about, no, I'm not going to practice Xia Yuan yet, because I don't know Ren Yuan yet very well, I can promise you, you will practice Ren Yuan for 10 years, and you still will not have reached the full potential of what Ren Yuan can give you. And in 10 years, you will still feel like you want to practice Ren Yuan still. You want to reach more, achieve more with Ren Yuan. So you will never practice Xia Yuan. And that might actually bring the issue that if you would have practiced Xia Yuan 10 years ago, sometimes the part that keeps that qi that you are working with in Ren Yuan locked up, you cannot shift it through Ren Yuan because your pure organ qi is integrated into membrane qi, and it's integrated into Ren Yuan qi in the totality of what you are, a qi field. So some of your problems might be in the organ chi, some of them might be in the membrane chi, some of the problems that you have might be in the pure organ chi, some of the problems might be in the channel chi, some problems might be in the pattern, and some problems might be in the chi of the central channel. So if you continue to only work on one type of chi, you might stop somewhere and not have further advancements. The development might stop. And here we are in another form of pattern that might arise through practice. Sometimes we get to a plateau and it seems that we can't get up anymore in levels, in Gong Fu or in the health level, in the niveau of our health. And this is because a different type of chi needs to be worked on. So if you're waiting and waiting and waiting and a year has gone by or another year has gone by, because you're overwhelmed that you have not practiced the other form enough yet, but actually you have reached a plateau, and that's why you feel emotionally a little bit like not much motivation there, it all feels a bit stuck, it doesn't flow anymore, I don't know, I used to feel more chi. It is probably because you ought to work on a different type of chi. Okay? So spice it up a little bit your life spice it up with chi. Spice it up with different forms of chi and what we can all do with it. So you will get to freedom and love and self-respect. Little by little. We do not push ourselves down or belittle ourselves in any way. It doesn't pay off to say, oh, I didn't practice again, I have no time today, oh, I did want to do Qing Yuan, Ren Yuan and Di Yuan, and all I managed to do was Di Yuan. We do not do that. We save our healthy state, we stay in a healthy state, and we keep facing our things. We just stay aware that we did not follow up our plan. And so we become aware of that tomorrow I will be able to make it better. I will try and give my best without pressure, without yali, without disgust or resistance, with total and pure joy, with love and trust and openness, fluidity and freedom. Okay. I hope this is helping you, if this has something to do with you and your life. I hope you have gotten a little bit of inspiration or ideas how to incorporate practices flexible. And I have to say sorry because I did want to talk about the question of Susan. You know, she has written me, I think, 1.5 months ago about her story. The thing is, it's quite a complex story. It has to do with medications and wrong medications and having ended up in a lot of problems. And I need quite some time for that. So I hope I can do that next week. I was hoping to get through 2 questions today, but I seem to be Jan's student. I'm sorry. I needed all this time to go into real depth of the question today, and it actually isn't very deep. You know, I could go on for another 2 or 3 hours only about this theme and give you some more ideas about how to practice so you can feel freer. But maybe it's a good time for giving this over to you, to your consciousness, so your consciousness can work with it a little bit and find out self-sufficiently and self-autonomously about what are the options in your life. And yes, I hope it has helped you a little bit today. And I hope you feel new inspiration and new motivation to practice. Thank you very much for listening. We have exactly half an hour left. Let's go ahead and do some Xia Yuan. And fitting into the theme of today, I'm going to talk you through Xia Yuan, and we're going to do a short version of Xia Yuan. With only 2 sounds in each organ segment. So it's about, today the focus is about not going very deep, although if you can go deep with only 2 sounds, that's great, but it's more focusing really on the color, the place, the healthy information, and the movements. So strong focus because we're only going to do 2. Okay? Please stand up and put yourself into a position, shoulder width apart. Lifting up from Balhui. Draw the vision back, closing the eyes gently. Tongue tip is resting on the upper palate. Relax the whole body. Relax the head and face. Relax your shoulders and arms. Relax your chest and upper back. Relax your abdomen and your lower back. Lift Yin to Ming. Relax your legs. Relax your body from top to bottom. Relax from inside out. Awareness inside, emptiness and spaciousness within, created actively. Relax further and send your awareness out to merge with Yuan Qi and the entire universe. Draw the awareness back, around and inside deeply, calm and peaceful. Open to the universe with reverence and utmost Gongqing. Let the bright universe nurture your heart with compassion and love. You are relaxed, free and joyful. Qi is flowing harmoniously and smoothly. Unify heaven, earth and human, lifting Qi up from the wrists, draw Qi down, lift Qi up and form prenatal healing hands. Think into middle dantian. Create two from the essence of heaven and earth. Open and close the teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Red dragon swimming in the sea outwards, left. 2, 3, 4, to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, red dragon swimming in the sea, inside, left. 2, 3, 4, 5, to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, swirl the saliva around the teeth of Qi. Swallow in 3 streams, left, right, and center. Think lower dantian as you swallow. Feel the chi arriving there. Draw chi into middle dantian, close to He Yin hands. Open, think the universe to prenatal He Yin hands. Close, He Yin. Open, prenatal. Close. Open, close. Open, form the liver, hands, breathe in. Form the heart, hands, breathe in. Red circle around the heart. Form the spleen, hands, yellow. Form the lung, hands, white. Form the kidney, hands, black. Breathe in, stand up. Form some Chow, hands, transparent light. Form in hands, Shen to middle dantian, 3 circles and 5 turns, Tong, Ling, Qi. Turn your body left and right. Qi is opening and closing into middle dantian. To left, right, turn left, turn right, back to the center. Breathe in, thinking middle dantian. All the organs. Breathe in middle dantian. 3 circles, guide Qi up inside of you, twin tongue. Turn your hands, circle Qi out into the universe, lower the body. Circle down into Guan Yuan. Guide Qi out inside to Tan Shong and Ao. Down through the universe and inside to Qi. Inside out. And circle in middle dantian. Lift Qi up inside. Hands above the head. Make them one with your inside. Breathing in, thinking the whole head. Breathing out, and the rest of the exhalation. Think upper dantian. Guide the Qi back down, deep inside of you to middle dantian. 5 turns left. Two. Move the Qi inside in circles. 3. 4. 5. Move the Qi the other direction. 5. Nourished chi. Breathing in, think all the organs. Breathing out, draw chi into middle dantian. Nourish chi in middle dantian. Guide the chi down to lower dantian. Hands draw chi deep inside and around. Draw chi from the chi field. Pull it into lower dantian. And then stand up and draw chi from everywhere back to lower dantian. Nourish chi. Rub chi in to the left. Move the chi in dantian. 1, 2, 3. To the right. 1, 2, 3. Feel the state of your consciousness. And then rub your hands, gather chi for the head and face. Gather all the information from today. Send it into yin tongue and the whole head. Open out. Send in, open out. Send in, open out. Send the whole chi field into the temples, deep into the head. Eyes. Send chi inside. Eyes, the liver, airways, the whole face. Hum chi through your consciousness all the way through. The consciousness is light and easy. Bai Hui Yu Chin. Open all the gates. Vibrate the chi into the ears. Pull it out. And massage the earlobes from top to bottom. Pull the earlobe. Relax and open your eyes. Sit down, please. Have you seen a short practice often increases the focus very deeply? Some of you actually have gone quite deep. Practicing with flexibility keeps your Shen aware, awake, vibrant, lively, autonomous. Free. Sometimes it is beautiful to, stretch a practice out because you have nothing better to do. It's the best thing that could happen to you, and so you practice and you practice and you practice and you love it. And sometimes a short dynamic practice is going to do the same thing. See, your consciousness is fluctuating in the states of depth, in the states of relaxation and clarity. So if you practice every day the same way, you're not going with your natural state. And you might fall into those patterns of resistance, of guilt, of shame, of blame, of lack of something. This process that we do in Ren Shui is supposed to be a light and easy one, an uplifting one. And on some days, the consciousness is yet not ready to practice 3 hours. And if you set yourself up for 3 hours, you might end up not practicing at all because it seems like too much and overwhelmed. And just feel inside the area of your chest, the middle dantian, where it is, and the whole area around it. Or feel the inside of your head. There's so much chi there right now, and it's so stable and so balanced, in so much harmony. And your body is almost non-sensible. It's very light and fluffy and beautiful. This is because you're in a unified state. And we have done a 25-minute practice of Xia Yuan from beginning to end. And I bet with you that some of you actually have felt qi moving the first time when you were rotating the qi inside with the 5 circles going bigger and smaller. Did you actually feel the qi moving inside like this? If you have, let me know. So from today on, I wish you a wonderful life with your practice and your flexibility within the practice, and only joyful states while you practice. Thank you so much for listening, and I see you next week.